Hi there, my name is Marisa Ferrera. I'm a women's empowerment coach and mentor and a connection practice certified coach and trainer. And I'm going to be talking to you about how you can enjoy your family time during the holiday by sharing a few tips with you. And before I do that, I'd like to just take a few moments to talk about why it is that when we get together with our families, especially during the holidays, we often experience conflict and drama. And why is it that we seem to be able to push each other's buttons very easily? Well, it's been my experience that what happens is that when we come together with our families, we bring with us all of our childhood wounds that have yet to be healed. And so, what happens when we start to interact with one another and we start observing one another's behaviors, we can often get triggered because of some of the past wounds and past experiences that we've had. And so, we start to react from what we call the inner child state. And so when we react from that state, we can start becoming very unloving. And so, what can you do so that you can prepare yourself in advance before you even attend the gathering? And then, while you're there, if conflict does happen between you and another or other family members, what can you do to help to resolve that more peacefully? So, the first tip that I have for you today is to be willing to let go of your past stories about how your family gatherings used to be or how you've experienced them in the past. Because if you bring that same memory with you to your family gatherings this year, then chances are you're going to experience the same thing. So be open to the possibility that you can actually have a new and more empowering experience this year. And the tips I'm going to share with you, if you use them and integrate them during your time together and before, you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier. So the second tip is this: before you get together with your family, I would encourage you to take some time to visualize and perhaps meditate and journal about what it is that you would like to experience this time. And instead of doing affirmations, which I don't actually recommend, because think about it this way: if you normally have experiences with your family where you're not enjoying yourself, or perhaps your mother's criticizing you all the time, or maybe you've got family members that get into fights and arguments all the time, saying an affirmation like, I'm going to have a great time this holiday when I get together with my family, or my mom is just going to be so complimentary towards me, or saying, my brother and sister aren't going to get, they're going to get along for the first time. Chances are you're really not going to buy it, you're not going to believe it, and so your ego's going to jump in and really negate all of those affirmations. So instead of using affirmations, what I recommend is you start each of your thoughts and ideas of what you'd like to experience with the words, wouldn't it be nice if? So you could say something like, wouldn't it be nice if this year, when I get together with my family, my brother and sister get along? It's like, wow, yeah, that'd really be nice. Or wouldn't it be nice if my mom gave me a compliment just out of the blue? Wow, that would be really nice. See, when you say, wouldn't it be nice if, it's a lot easier for you to buy into it. And you might not buy into it 100%, but you're going to move closer towards the possibility that that could happen. Or just even the feeling, it increases your vibration of feeling like, wow, that would be really nice. So, the other thing that I would recommend, we heard earlier, Sharon talked about the importance of moving into your heart. And so, it's important before you go to spend this time with your family. And I would encourage you to do this as close as possible to the time when you're getting together, is do take some time to ground and center yourself. And Sharon shared a technique earlier about how to move into your heart coherence. And I'd like to share another technique with you that comes from the Heart Map Institute that's called the Quick Coherence Technique. And it's also used with permission with the connection practice. And this technique has been scientifically proven to help you move into heart-brain coherence very quickly. And it's very simple. There's just 3 steps. And after I tell you the 3 steps, I'd like to just take a few moments and actually guide you through it so that you have an experience of it and you'll know how you can use it, not only as you prepare to get together with your family during the holidays, but any time that you're about to experience something that could be stressful for you. So the first step is called heart focus. The second step is called heart breathing. And the third step is called heart feeling of appreciation. because science has also proven that when we're in a feeling of appreciation, that's the fastest and the easiest way for us to move into that heart coherence. And also, when we're in that coherent space, the reason this is so important is because it helps us to access our brain's intelligence when we're dealing with challenges or when we get triggered or we experience conflict and drama. And it also helps us to tap into our heart's wisdom. So let's just take a moment together. I'd like you to do this process with me. So get comfortable in your chair and begin by just putting your hand on your heart, and then gently just close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And as you release your breath, just bring your attention down, down, down into your heart for heart focus. And now begin to breathe a little slower, more rhythmically, a little deeper, as if you're breathing in and out through your heart for heart breathing. And now feel appreciation for something that's easy for you, something that brings a smile to your face and makes your heart sing. It can be a feeling of appreciation for a beloved pet, a child, a favorite vacation spot. Just feeling appreciation. And when you're ready, you can come back to the room and open your eyes. Now, you may notice, I know I feel it within myself, I'm already feeling a greater sense of calmness and presence. And so, this is something that you can do and take longer than what I did with you now. Take as much time as you need to just really move into that centered, grounded space. And not only can you use this technique before you spend time with your family, but even when you're with them, if things start to feel a little tense, you can remove yourself from the room, find a private space, and just take a few moments to bring yourself into that coherent space. So, the next tip I want to share with you, tip number 4, is when you actually are with your family, see if you can just observe your family, observe their interactions, their behaviors, and if conflict does start happening between family members, I invite you to look at them as if they're wounded children, because that's actually who is acting out in the moment of conflict and drama. It's the wounded child that's reacting, as I mentioned earlier. Something's been triggered from the past. The child's come up to the surface and now wants some attention, is seeking love, appreciation, all kinds of things. And so when you're able to actually look at your family members as innocent, wounded children, you'll find it so much easier to be able to feel empathy and compassion for them instead of judgment or resentment or possibly anger. So that's a really important thing. And if you find that someone in the family is actually triggered by you, then you can offer them empathy and compassion while still honoring your boundaries. Because let's say from their trigger, they start speaking to you in a very unloving way. They're yelling at you or they're criticizing you. Giving empathy and compassion doesn't mean you allow people to treat you badly. You can say to the person, I'm really sorry if what I just said upset you. That wasn't my intention. But I'd like to work through this with you. And it's really important to me that we can speak to one another in a loving way. So if you're willing to communicate to me respectfully, then I'm willing to continue this conversation. And if not, then we're going to have to discuss it another time. It's really important to honor your boundaries when you're communicating with people, because that's how we teach people how to treat us. Now, let's say you're the one that gets triggered and you start to react from your inner child wounded state. Well, this is where tip number 5 is going to come in handy. As soon as you recognize that you are now maybe yelling at somebody, or maybe you're putting somebody down and you've noticed that you're doing this, I want you to just stop, even if it's in mid-sentence, and take some responsibility for your actions, for your words, and for your feelings. And you can say to the person, you know what, I'm really sorry that I'm yelling at you, or I'm really sorry I just said those unloving words, or whatever your natural way of speaking is. I really am noticing that when you did whatever it is they did, or when you said, these feelings started coming up for me, and I'm really sorry I projected them onto you. And see if you can identify what your needs are that are not being met, and then communicate those needs to this person, and see if you can also understand that their feelings and needs by letting them express themselves. And then it's much easier to come to an agreement, to come to some solution or resolution that can serve everyone. So I really hope that these tips are helpful for you. I know they've really worked well for me when I've had to deal with a lot of very challenging family situations. And if one of my free gift for you is actually oh my goodness, how do I say this now? I'm forgetting the title of my free gift. Let me see. Oh, Resolve Conflicts Peacefully Guide. Sorry about that. Yes, so Resolve Conflicts Peacefully Guide is my free gift for everyone. And with this guide, it's not something that you're necessarily going to work through, because there's 10 steps on how to resolve a conflict, but it is something you can review before you get together with your family. And there's more tips on there that can really support you as well. But you can use this guide one-on-one with a family member that might be open to really exploring a conflict with you. So again, I hope you found these helpful, and I send you my love and blessings, and do wish you a much more enjoyable family time this year than perhaps you've ever had. Thank you so much.